Whoever wanted to try mixed media scrapbooking but felt completely overwhelmed by all of the things that you need, all the products, the tools, the pens, the paints, the adhesives, the list goes on. Everyone says you need to have these, right? But here's the truth. One of the biggest mistakes that mixed media scrapbookers make is thinking that we have to have it all before we even start. Well, in today's Scrappy Chats, Crafty, Maggie, and I are sharing all of the pen and adhesive supplies that we actually use, the products that we skip, and some of our favorite mixed media content creators that we follow for inspiration. So if you're wondering how to start without even spending a fortune, today's the episode to listen to.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to the Crafty Maven Getaway podcast. I'm your host, Dina.
And I'm Megan. Thanks so much for joining us today on episode 17.
17. I know. It just, each week that we do it and it's a new episode and we record, I'm like, I can't believe where we've come. And it's fun. So today we're going to talk about mixed media again. So why don't we just jump in and get to it? Because last episode we talked a lot about the intro stuff, a lot about actually no, the last episode we didn't. We talked about other stuff, and now we're getting back to the mixed media. Forgot about that.
Yes.
But yeah, so we talked the last mixed media episode, we talked a lot about the foundation type things, like papers, like what actually is mixed media, and the fact that it doesn't have to be what you think it is. So I love that. So this week we thought we'd talk a lot about like some glues, pens type stuff that you can add, maybe a little bit about tools, and we wanted to kind of hit on some channels and people that we watch or that are out there that do mixed media scrapbooking and just mixed media type stuff, so that you guys can go to those places and get inspiration. Also follow, because a lot of them do like more some of the mixed media people do more tutorial type stuff, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into it, because once you have your paint on, right, whether you're doing an art journal once you do an art journal or a scrapbooky page, you're probably going to add some kind of something to it, right, that needs some kind of glue.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And there are so many different kinds of glues. Like there's so much glue. And I don't know about you, but like I get confused sometimes about what I want to use on my pages, just because there's just so many options. And so my biggest advice would be just pick one or two types and just stick with it. Like, yes, when you're kind of starting off, trying different stuff is helpful, but you don't want to end up with a whole bunch of different types. Like, who has time to have 5 million types, you know, and who has space to have a whole bunch of different types of glues?
Yeah, definitely.
So, on your scrapbooking, do you have a certain type of glue that you like to use just on your pages in general? Or are you...
I use, what do I use? I just use my glue gun.
Okay.
And yeah, my ATG glue gun. And then usually I was buying like the tape, the name brand tape, but that's gotten so, it used to be like $6, $4, and now it's like 10. Like,
where are you getting it? I think I get mine for like $6.99. It's not too bad.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you buy yours in person? I guess that's a question. Do you buy your supplies in person, or do you buy them like online?
I was buying them like at Michael's. But
that's why you're paying so much.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, okay, maybe I'm gonna not. So I did, the last time I bought glue, the ATG glue, I bought the knockoff brand. And it works pretty good. I mean, it's not as good, but I think I got like 6 of them for like $10 or $12 on Amazon. So yeah. So that's,
I mean, if it works for you,
right,
then
exactly.
I don't see why you have to go out and get other ones. I've not switched over to the knockoff. I can't bring myself to do it. Call me snooty or uppity or
no.
whatever, like a snob
Yeah.
about it, but like that is one of the places that I don't like to cinch, only because I've heard so many people have bad issues with the knockoffs, that at least with the ATG, that I can't bring myself to try it yet. It's probably not as bad. I'm sure it's gotten better, but like there's sometimes even with the name brand kind that you get halfway through the roll and for whatever reason it flipped. And so there's no way you can fix it if the glue flips to the other side, because the wheel. So for anybody who doesn't know, hope everybody knows this, but if you don't, that's fine. Let me grab my ATG. Right. So this is an ATG. It's Scotch. There's a red version.
I think there's a yellow version too.
A yellow version. Yeah. I don't know. I know that they're not as easy to get nowadays. I don't think they're making as many. So, but I've had this little girl since I've started. She sure looks like it.
Oh yeah.
And there's glue all on the inside, you know, if they could talk, they'd be like, girl, you don't clean me. But anyway, so when you are rolling it, right, you have the glue, empty glue tape thingy goes here, and then the full one goes here, and so it goes through. And but sometimes the glue flips from one side to the other side, because I don't know exactly how it goes in. That's fine. As far as like which side is up and down, I don't know. It's fine when you first put it in. But anyway, so sometimes it'll flip. And so, because the glue is down here at the bottom. So when you, so I do use my ATG a little bit on certain elements. So I don't mind doing it on like more scrapbook mixed media-ish some stuff, but I do end up using liquid glue a lot more. And like art journaling and stuff, I almost always use liquid glue. I hardly ever use an ATG just because I feel like it has the ability to come up. Now, actually, I was just talking to Cassie the other day about the redline tape, and I know a lot of people like the redline double-sided tape. I don't. So this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't like it for mixed media. I don't think it holds any better than an ATG tape.
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long. Like the roll is not as much. And then you have to fiddle with it. And I say that because I have a Maya Road mixed media album that I did. And the stuff is starting to come off because I use redline tape, because I thought, oh, I'm using bulkier pieces because, you know, I have like wooden spools and clips and stuff on there, and I wanted things to hold heavier, and I do not think it made a difference. So I'm really disappointed. I should have just did something else to adhere some of them, the bulkier things, like, because even liquid glue only goes so far.
Right.
It only goes so far, guys.
Yeah.
So and if you have a glue that you know holds, use that, because like, gosh, like, you don't have to go out and search for like the best thing if you don't have something that works really well for you. I know sometimes we, as crafters, we really kind of get in this position where we like are on the search for the perfect tool, the perfect item. And in that search, we like kind of train ourselves not to be happy with what we already have that already works. Like, why are you wasting all your brain power looking for something and searching for something that you might not like it? Just because 5 other people like it doesn't mean that it's going to help you out at all. And I say this, like, I see it in other elements, in other aspects of life, right? You know, like, especially movie reviews, right? Like, if you'll hear 5 videos of people loving, or 20 people loving a certain video, and then you go watch it and you're like, oh my gosh, this was not what they said.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I feel like in our industry, we have a lot of affiliate and like sponsored people. And I feel like this happened a lot with Tombow, because Tombow has those little rollers, the dot ones, and people praise dot rollers. I don't like the dot rollers. I don't think they hold. Like, it's I don't like them. Now, if you like them and it works for you, that's great. But so I feel like sometimes we can get swayed by those things and not realize how much it's because they're getting it for free. So that's what they use, or that's what they know. And so they just use it. So, you know, if you have a glue that works for you, get it, use it, just use it. Just keep buying that. One that I really like, especially for heavy duty stuff, is Eileen's. Eileen's, like there's a Tacky, there's a whole bunch, but there's like a golden whatever bottle. I love it. That's what I use a lot of the time. Sometimes I'll use the mono multi and the green, not the blue one. That one works pretty good. It's not as strong as Eileen's, but so depending, like if you have more paper stuff, that works. I know the Nuvo glue, there's a lot of people who love that. I've not tried it, so that's an option for some glue.
The Nuvo one I've tried, and I really didn't think it was that great. Like it seemed, I mean, it just seemed comparable to the mono, the green bottle to me.
So, yeah. But I know that there's a ton of other people I know who love Nuvo glue.
They rave about that.
So Trinity Stamps has a glue that works pretty good. It's probably comparable to the mono, I would say. Yeah. Their tubes are pretty cool because they're thinner. So, and they have a better fine tip that I feel like doesn't get clogged too much. So that's I will say that is an issue with glue, that it can get clogged really easily. So like, especially my Eileen's, I have to put like a tack in there or whatever. Actually, I have a bulldog clip type clippy situation that has, I don't know why, but they're pins, like safety pin, not safety, shovey pin, whatever, tack pins, whatever. My brain is not braining.
It's fine.
Anyway, it has a sharp pointy edge that I put in it.
Yeah.
So,
that's funny.
Oh my gosh. Should we be doing the podcast today? Who knows, guys?
Probably not, but it's fine.
So those are some options. There also is, especially for like art journals and other independent, like if you're using a lot of paper and doing layered paper type stuff, matte medium is really good. Now, Dina Wakley also has a glue that is a matte medium type, but it's like an actual glue. She sells that. I've tried it a little bit and it's pretty good. So since she does mixed media, so it wouldn't hurt to like maybe invest in like matte medium or some kind of glue like that. Or Mod Podge also works just as well. Actually, Mod Podge is a little bit more tackier than matte medium. Matte medium does not feel like a glue. So I will preface that, like, you're going to get it and you're going to go, oh, this seems like a really thin, like gel paste. But it, like when you do it flat and you're using it like both, you want to glue on both sides. I will say it makes everything kind of shiny-ish. So it's not a matte finish. I wouldn't say it's like super glossy, but it is like a gloss type of situation. So, but that works. Those or Mod Podge work really well when you're layering papers.
And like with Mod Podge, I know you can get like glossy, semi-gloss, and matte. I think what I'm using right now is matte because I was using it on my photos and I didn't want them to be glossy. So I got matte kind. So that is kind of nice about Mod Podge. However you say it.
So, I mean, there are companies that have been around for ages. With that kind of stuff. So why, you know, once again, there's a reason why they're staying in business. What other one? Oh, I was thinking about this when I was writing up stuff. And they're also, so I took a mixed media class with Cassie yesterday, and that company, they had a glue stick that was pretty heavy duty. I think it was, what, I probably have to look, which I hate doing. But I took a picture of it because it's Uhu or something. So it's UHU. And it's a super like thick, like it's meant for mixed media. So if you're looking for, like, if you're someone who likes a glue stick, I do not like it because, I didn't like how it felt on my hands, but that is what it is. So, I mean, I guess you're getting messy. So
yeah. It looks like they have like oh, what is that Super Max glue, the 6000 or something like that? E6000 or something. It looks like the Yoo-hoo or however you say
Yeah.
it. It looks like they have that type of container too.
Okay.
Have you ever used the E6000 on scrapbooking? Okay.
No. No.
I mean, that's pretty strong, but it might not work well with mixed media. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't. I have not tried that. So, and I haven't tried every single glue because once again, I'm in the camp that if I have something, I'll make it work for how I need to. And then I kind of add one or two things here. And that is one of my biggest pieces of advice. Just get one or two different types of items that you're thinking of trying. You don't have to stress yourself out about buying every single thing and trying 10 different glues, because you're probably not going to see that much of a difference in between each one. But also, like, then you have all this glue and you got to figure out, obviously you'll use some of it, but some of that glue dries out real quick if you're not using it. So yeah. So just try one. If you don't like it, then try another one. Or if you like it and you think you want to stick, okay, so pens, because this is another thing that once you do a lot of stuff, you want to add like doodling, you want to add some kind of contrast. I'm not a big fan of any of the white pens. I'll say that right now. And I know like what is it? The Sakura, I think is the brand. They have like a white gel pen or something that a lot of people love. The Uni one has a white pen, and I still am not a big fan of those. They're not consistent for me. So, and I find depending on what kind of the finish it is, it gets hard because it gets in the roll ball thing. And so, but I mean, I've tried them. I've tried the Uniball one or the Uni one like a lot, because Allie Edwards uses it a lot. But I think on paper it's probably a lot better. But even then, I felt like it rolled stuff. Now, with that said, I've seen people show that if you put like clay or something in the like the end of it, like where the tube actually is, that helps. That's part of the thing. There's not enough like pressure to have it flow consistently, and that might be my problem. So that's something I need to try. So that I will say, like, look up some of these issues with pens and stuff. I would look up how other creators who use them consistently, like things that they have that you can utilize, and tips, because there's so many tips out there. Sometimes they're not, places aren't good with tips, but a lot of times you can find little things and hacks that will help get the most out of your supplies or things that you didn't like. I feel like acrylic paint pens work really nicely. There's like so many different brands, but Posca is a really great brand. Faber-Castell, I love their Pit pens. I use those a lot on mixed media, and you can like kind of blend them. I think they're alcohol based, but I could be wrong about that. And so the dry time is a little bit slower. So keep that in mind, but you can blend it and shear it out if you want or something. So those are nice. And the Pit pens, I think, come in like tons of different colors. I just have white and black. White, it is not very dark, so it's more translucent. So you do, and it's not like if you keep writing on it, it's going to build it up. So, and I will say, even with acrylic paint pens, I found that tends to be the problem with the white ones, is it's more translucent because the paint is thin. It's a thin paint, guys. So keep that in mind. Like with any kind of paint pen, it is going to be a thinner version because you have to have it go through the nub. Otherwise it would dry up so quick. So the black ones you can work a lot better, or colored ones you can kind of build them up a little bit. I feel like the white you can build up just a little, but it's still so translucent. It's just the nature of white ones. Delusion has paint pens, and they're okay. I didn't like the white ones. I think they're more of a ball style as opposed to like a nib one. So there's different types of versions. So get a nib one, get a ball one, see what you like. and try that. So I'm trying to think, what kind of pens do you like to do like doodle or journaling with that I didn't mention that you use?
I think the only one that I've really used is like Sharpie, like a Sharpie paint pen.
Oh,
Um,
I
I
don't think
think
I've used the Sharpie paint pens, but that's a great option and
yeah,
especially if you want something a little bit cheaper that you're not spending for
yeah,
the name of it, because that's the thing
right.
with Posca or Pitt or the Faber-Castell, you're paying for the name of that company.
Oh
And
yeah,
Sharpie is
definitely.
like that doesn't just because it's a lesser name doesn't mean that it's not a decent product.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's the same as like the Poshka ones or the pet pens. I've never had those brands, but Sharpie works just the same way as those. I'm
Mm.
pretty sure.
I
Because
would
it's
assume
just
the
like
technology is
you,
similar. Yeah.
I think you just, I'm trying to remember, it's been a while since I've used it, but I think you just like push it in the
Yeah.
tip
Hmm.
when you
Yeah.
want the
That's
ink to
how the
come out.
Posca ones work.
Okay.
Push
Okay.
them in. The delusion ones, like I said, that's a roll ball.
Okay.
And the pet ones, because like I said, I believe these are um alcohol based. I believe. I could be wrong. I can't even read this one I've had for so long though. Let me tell you, I've had these for a long time and they still work.
Yeah.
So it was worth the money, but I just grabbed two and they're a brush tip.
Oh, that's cool.
So these ones are really thick. I probably could benefit from having a thinner one. And the white one looks so bad. Like I don't know if anybody can see it. Like look how
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
hard to see, but it's got black on there because
Yeah.
the white rubs off. I
Yeah.
know um Jane Davenport, she had some out like paint type
Oh
markers.
yeah. Yeah, she
American Crafts
does.
has some, used to have some because Chamel had one. And the Chamel ones weren't that great, I will say. And it
Hmm.
wasn't Chamel. I think it's American Crafts.
Yeah,
And they
right.
dried out super, super quick. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other ones that I don't use I don't use a lot of like these kind of like um ones on mine. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
it depends if you, because I will say when you add like paint or media, it does make it a little bit different. The Toll brand, they have a nice little fine tip. These do not work on paint though. Tried
I think
it
I've
ruins your
used,
marker, the felt
does it?
tip.
Yeah. I think I've
Um
used the Tombow pens on paint before,
the
but
Le
it
Pen
does.
ones, they also have some nice
Yes.
ones, but those ones don't work that great on paint either. Um
Those are more for
I
like, yeah,
do
regular
like
scrapbooking.
Pilot has a nice roll one, and the black ones work pretty good. You can get it pretty good on paint. If it's really thick, then it does kind of start to. So I use that a lot for certain doodling.
Okay.
The black one, the V7 Precise. And then I'm trying to think what else I have in here. Because I know, like I said, the jelly roll ones, I think it's Sakura is the brand. Yeah. Some people really love them, but I find that it just gets stuck. Like it doesn't flow that well. It's a gel style. Um, so but that's just me. And the white ones that I was talking about was a Signa
Yeah.
Uniball. So, and a lot of people like those. There's a American version and a Asian or Japanese version. I believe that the Japanese version is better, but I
Yeah.
don't
That's what I've
think that's
heard
what I've
too.
heard,
Yeah.
you know. But
Hmm.
anyway, I do know that if I'm like writing on uh glossy stuff, whoo, um who is it that has a pen that writes really well? It's not Stetler, I don't think. I've used quite a bit of their pens too. Um Trying to remember because there's like the precision pens are also felt. Those do not work on paint. Believe me, I've tried them out. trying to. It just like gunks it up.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna. Who was it? I was just using it around Christmas time too, because it's amazing. It works so nice on photos and stuff. It's more scrapbooker related, but I feel like it works decent on anything glossy. You do have to I feel like the crux is paint. If it's a thicker paint on there, it's gonna gunk up any kind of thing. So you do have to be careful and just be thought conscious when like how hard you're writing it down. So if you really like to scribble stuff, now if you're doing like a Dina Wakley style where she just puts a thin layer of paint, you're probably okay with a lot of the different felty. I feel like the felty ones really don't handle the paint very well.
Okay. Yeah.
But, so yeah, I can't remember. And I don't think I have it out on my desk. I was trying to think. I had it there.
Of course you don't. Why would you have it?
Well, okay, so the Zig, I think it's a Zig Writer. I think that's who I was thinking of. So this one's for vellum, but it essentially works the same. This one has a dual tip.
Those are cool.
So it's Kuretake.
Yes, that's the name I was trying. I couldn't remember because I know.
So I think that's what it is. It's the Zig Writer. They have like it works pretty good on. So this one would probably work really well on mixed media. It's archival ink, I think, is what. So I think it's an ink based pigment. Yeah, it says pigment ink. So Combo also has some markers. So that's like a good marker type. Like you can get different thicknesses. I have this script one. So it has like a small nib and then the brush script. But I don't use a ton of those on layouts necessarily, or like mixed media type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know Hobby Lobby. I think this is Hobby Lobby. They just have like a regular double one that has these ones work pretty good.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby has quite.
Yeah, I've not tried it on mixed media, like the nib on mixed media, because I'm always worried about the felt nibs. But that's a big issue, I feel like. Anyway, okay, so I feel like that's pretty good for pens. Yes. I think really just just buy a couple, you know, and I would say sometimes like with the paint markers, I feel like you can get away with not buying name brand, but with the like anything that you're writing with on a mixed media page, you might want to invest in one or two nicer ones to try.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
So it's always kind of nice to have a really good pen that you've tried. And it does take a little while. And like I was saying, I don't like the Sigma Uniball, but so many people love it. So like try things that you know some people have liked, and you can try some different types that maybe you don't hear as much about. Okay, so do we want to get into people to follow, or what was the other thing that I thought about talking about? Tools. Did we want to talk about tools, or do we want to talk about tools next time?
We could maybe let's see, what time is it? Okay, maybe let's talk about people, and then we can talk about tools next time.
Okay. Yeah. So we thought about talking about some people that we like to follow, or that there is to follow, that does mixed media and scrapbooking mixed media too. This obviously this is not an all-encompassing list. Because there are so many. Like for the business, I followed sometimes different companies and stuff, and there is always new mixed media people that I'm seeing. Mixed media scrapbooking, so there's just a ton of influx of creators. So I will say, like, anybody who's wanting to share their stuff, like there's tons of people who are eating up the content, but there's a ton of people who are doing it. So, you know. So the inspiration is out there, and then you kind of can get a feel for what kind of style you like that is eye-catching to try. Because if you've not tried a lot of mixed media, the best thing to do is to like go to Pinterest or Instagram and really like look at some of the projects, look at what different artists are doing. So that gives you a good idea of like their style and like, is this the style? Like, I don't like grungy very much. Like, I don't mind seeing it. Like, it's super pretty. Some people do a great job with like also like the more antique looking stuff. It's like, it's beautiful and they do a great job, but I do not like it. I don't like all that dark stuff.
Yeah.
Like dark colors. I don't like a lot of browns. Like I want white space and I want lots of color. And so, but but watching some of the techniques, I also get an idea of how to layer different things too. So I don't count out somebody just because they have a different style than you. Like you're going to get something from every different style.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and I think that that's what's so nice about like the Crafty Maven Getaway is like we have so many different options. Well, and you and I have kind of talked about, okay, maybe we need to start focusing more on techniques and like let the design team kind of do like layouts and, you know, all of the other different things, cards and stuff like that, so that people can come to our channel and get those techniques and things too.
Yeah,
that
I
would be
definitely
kind of
think
nice.
that there is room for us to grow, to give a more educational or like inspirational in a different way, you know? And I think that's the thing with like mixed media. Sometimes it seems super complicated and it can be, but a lot of it isn't. And actually like Cassie and I just took a class yesterday and it was fun. But I had the hardest time. Like there was a couple of times I was like, I do not like this. I'm not liking this right now. This is not fun. And it's because I've gotten so used to doing mixed media my own way that like some of it is just turning off all facets of your brain. And I say knowing that like I turn off facets of my brain when I do certain things because I know the result that I could end up or that I'm kind of trying to achieve, where like what we were just building cards and oh my gosh, you're just flipping, like you're moving stuff around, just spraying, using the thing. Like there's no rhyme or reason. And eventually you're supposed to build layers so that it is like really cool. But the color, there was not a lot of color, like the colors that I would use. So me and Cassie had a hard time with the colors because there was a lot of red and browns. And I'm sorry, I don't want blood looking on my layer. And that doesn't pair well. And so one of my hard parts is that as you're spraying these things, and even if you're patting and trying to keep it dry, the colors mix and then you end up with this gross color too. And I'm not a fan of that. So I like to pair colors that I know are going to look good together, you know, and we really need to talk about like color and color theme, maybe something like that. Maybe that'll be in the series because that kind of would be a great little tidbit because it helps in mixed media. It helps even with Scrappy stuff too. But yeah, so I had a really hard time because you're just not supposed to think about it and care what you're putting down. And I care about what I'm putting down. I want also my stencils to kind of look a certain way because I want to see different patterns, even if it's just peeking through a little. So I just realized I control and manipulate my projects way more than like some people and what the class that we were doing, you know, and I was like, I don't like it.
That's so crazy because when I think about you and your process, like you are not a control freak. Like I am a control freak. I like to control my process. But like that's so interesting that you figured that out because I never would look at you and your scrapbooking and think that you are a perfectionist or control or anything.
Well, and I wouldn't even say that it's a perfectionism thing because I understand. But I manipulate the process to get the result-ish that I want to get. And I think some of that comes from playing enough around where it didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out, that I know that that's not how I want to do it. And if I do it this way, I will get a result that I like, that I look. I think that's why I don't like the packaging technique because I can't control as much of it as I would like to control. Like where the clumpy parts go with the fadey parts. It's just so, and I know some of it is I just don't do it enough that I can figure out how to get it sort of how I could utilize it and use it later.
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting that you say it that way, because I love the packaging technique, because I feel like I don't have to control it, like I can just spray it and put it on the paper and it's easy. Like I don't have to control anything and it's easy, and I've done the mixed media and now I can move on. Like, so that's so crazy, the different outlooks we have.
And this is why I say practice, because you will learn what the techniques that you're doing. You will learn how, in a general idea of how it's going to look. Right. And by then, an idea that you have, you can help get it that way. You still might have elements of your process that you don't control, and it kind of comes out where it wants to come out and that kind of thing. But, and also there isn't that when you just free flow, just let it go, do what it's going to do. That's fine if that's what you're going to do. And I don't know. So, and there is elements in times where I think that is necessary. You need to take a page where it's going to go, you just go with it. But and I think maybe when I do that, I'm not sharing it with other people. That could be the other aspect of things, is that I realize that I am sharing some of this. Right. And so, and it's awkward. And I will tell you, you can ask my husband this. I have a real hard time when I'm not good at something and I can't do it how it needs to be done. And I'm not good at something. I'm just not good at that. And aren't we all like that? No one wants to be bad and sucky at stuff. No one likes it. It does not feel good. I am really bad about sitting in it, though. Lucky enough, I'm good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
Or knowing the things that I'm good at and sharing those with people.
Right.
But, but sometimes we have to be vulnerable. And mixed media is a big part is being vulnerable and letting things kind of, so I do understand that. Just doing it is the hard part. Anyway. Okay. What are some people that you like to look at, watch, who inspires you?
I think Vicki Boutin is probably the biggest one that comes to my mind. Well, and I think with her, she does a lot of she takes out the guesswork when you use her collections. And so I like to use the pre-made backgrounds and then kind of just add a little bit of something that's easy for me. And then it's okay, I can deal with that, because I'm one of those perfectionist people where I'm I want it to look good, but I also want to play a little bit myself, And so I think that's the biggest reason why I've kind of and I don't have a ton of her products. I just have a little bit, but it does make it a little bit easier to have the pre-made.
She understands how most people scrapbook as a whole. As I'm reflecting on my time at the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, because it is so crazy when I go to places like that, and me and Cassie had a lot of thoughts about, our experience, and she's never been to it and I had, so I at least kind of knew what I was getting into this time. But it always even surprises me when I go to crafts or in-person things that people don't scrapbook the way I do. And I've just kind of learned to be okay with that. But it's because most of the people who scrapbook like me are all online, and that's where I see them.
Yeah.
But I think Vicki understands that when she goes to classes, those aren't the people that are buying most of her products for the most part, which is not true though, because I think that's how she sells out of all her stuff for the most part. The non-people, those people are way late to the show. And I could understand how frustrating that is for them, because honestly, it makes it not easy to get supplies at all.
Right.
But she understands that. And so she designs her products and things so that people can, like you, and so many of us, add a little bit to those backgrounds. Like, I don't have to worry about being free flow and how it's going to turn out because I already have this background that's sort of started. And so I could just
Mhm.
do the things that I know I can do. Like, I can put splatters on there
Yep.
at the end
Yep.
or
Yep.
add a little bit more of the, you know, packaging technique.
Yep. Just anything. Add a little
You
bit of
know,
a stencil.
or add a
Yeah.
little bit of a stencil to it with ink or with a texture paste or something, and then like boom, it's done. So yeah, and Vicky is super good at that, and she is awesome with giving free content to her followers. Like, you can go to her Facebook page or group. She has like
Mhm.
so much stuff. She does lives in there. She does lives on YouTube. She does a ton of stuff where she just sits down and she has a theme. She's like, hey, we're gonna jelly plate today. And she kind of let people know what they need to bring or have at their thing. And you just watch and you play along and you can see this is how it's gonna turn out. So she is awesome at doing that. So definitely YouTube, her Facebook group is like awesome places to like get inspiration and learn how to do things.
Yeah.
She really gets her peeps for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I know I love it, and I've seen this in person, and I don't think you can see it so much online. And this is the frustrating part. So if you ever have a chance to take a class with Dina Wakley, I know it probably is like way outside of some people's budgets, but she's super fun and she makes her stuff pretty easy. And when you take it in person, it's very doable. And it's just really awesome to watch her create. Like at Creativation, she was just creating as we were chit-chatting, and it's just super fun. She makes it super easy. But I will say that she doesn't have as much like tutorial or whatever stuff. She does a lot of classes now. I think that's mostly what she does. But yeah, so she has a YouTube which it doesn't have as much consistent stuff, but on her Facebook page, she has a lot of stuff that she shares. So work that she's done at classes, just even sometimes just whatever stuff. Like if she's going around somewhere out of town that she'll just post content. So you kind of get inspired by there. I tried to look to see if I could find a like group or something, and I didn't. It was going to take a way more digging than I was wanting to put into
Right.
it. So like definitely no, she might have a group or somewhere or a Patreon. I know a lot of the mixed media artists have like a Patreon, or they used to have a section in on their websites where you could join part of their community. I say that in quotes, like, you know, a place where that's where they hang out and they share more stuff. I think a lot more places are going to Facebook, and away from like the website. Like, even though the website is a good hub for finding certain information, that's not where everybody's hanging out. So I think that's just kind of the world that we're in right now. Everybody wants to be on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or you know, YouTube. So, and all those apps are designed to keep you there, right?
Right. Yeah. They don't want to
Um,
lose you.
I know you reminded me of Irit Landgraf. So if
Yes.
you haven't followed her, she does so much with bright colors. She's very like bright and white based. So she used to do mixed media scrapbooking, but now she just does mixed media. She focuses a lot on like um products and stuff. She does a lot of watercolor types, or she used to. So she has a YouTube channel, which is, I think, was consistent, right? Like she can
Yeah. She
post
posted a
some
couple,
stuff.
yeah, like once a week or something like that, maybe.
I know
Something
she
like
also
that.
has a lot of classes, so definitely check out her website in the well, yeah, in the description and stuff, and we'll try to, at least on the blog, we'll put down some links to all
Oh,
the
yeah.
so that you guys can find it.
Yeah.
I'll try to have it in the show notes, but it might not be in the YouTube version. It just might be the blog. I might just send people to the blog.
Right.
That might be easier for
Yeah,
for
we can do that. Yeah.
Dyan Reaveley also does a lot of stuff. She does stuff on YouTube quite often. Like right now she's doing a post every day for like the month or whatever. So, and she's a lot like Dina and the type of stuff. So it's more on the mixed media realm. And then on the YouTube, another mixed media round is Vicky Papaioannou.
Yeah.
Papaioannou, something. I am really not good with names. She has been around forever. Vicky. She's been around for a long time. She does a lot of mixed media. Her Facebook is really good, or Instagram, because she shares like a project with like a video, and it's just like a small, quick with music process. So you just see her kind of create, and it's usually something small, like a little art journal page, or like a little like Rolodex type style, or just or like a card. So she does that. Sometimes she used to do a lot of stamping and then like doing other stuff. Actually, that's how I found out to use Pit pens, because she used to use that stuff all the time for like edging things and blending it and stuff. So like I said, she had like her stuff is really fun to watch, because you just see it's definitely not all my style, but once again, sometimes it's just great for inspiration. So she has quite a bit. I think she has a YouTube too, but when I was looking at YouTube, it's not as nice as what she does. I think more shorter content. And I didn't look on the shorts on YouTube actually, so she might just focus more on shorts. Okay, let's see who else. So let's talk about just some mixed media scrapbookers that have some different channels. Did you want to mention them, or you want me to? Because I have
I'll say Jessica Michaels from our design team.
Yeah,
she does a lot.
All of our design team all has stuff on their channel.
Obviously.
So definitely if you're not following them, but we wanted to highlight Jessica Michaels. Yes.
Yeah. So when we'll can we put the links to the design team's YouTubes down in the description below, or maybe I'll just put them on the blog if that's easier.
Yeah, that might be easier. I know on our channel, if you're watching this from YouTube, if you go to our home channel, you can find all of the design team. You can click on all of them. It's super easy.
Okay. Yeah, Jessica Michaels, and then the other Jessica Michaels.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know,
there's two Jessica Michaels, if you didn't know that. And they're both awesome, and they're both amazing mixed media scrapbookers, like amazing. So
yeah, they are. And then I don't know if you want to mention
and then so she's more of mixed media, Tiffany Solario. So she does classes. I know she's done stuff with the Crafty Doings, Jessica Michaels. That's how I'm going to differentiate. So people know. So the Crafty, she's done stuff with her. And she does more mixed media. I know she has a YouTube. I don't know if she just posts more on like Instagram or something. So we'll make sure that we have links to, like I said, they're both of where they post, because some people post more on certain platforms. And honestly, that's just the way to do it. You pick your platform and go from there.
Stick with it.
Yeah. And so like you can utilize that. Like when you're looking for inspiration, just stick on a platform, stick on YouTube, or stick on Instagram, or pick one for one day and one for another day. It's, it makes it a lot easier. So you're not stressing yourself out about going all these different places. But she does a lot of like classes. She does like more smaller project, like cards and other things like that, but all very beautiful mixed media. Then Nicole Santos, she's Cause We Love to Scrap. So that's what her handle is. But she's on a whole bunch of different mixed media design teams, and she adds mixed media. I would say she's definitely a scrapbooker that adds some stuff. And I think so she's a good example of like how you can just add a little bit of stuff and you don't have to go crazy. But she's on a few big teams, so there's tons of inspiration there. also Stephanie, so Southern Charm Scraps, she doesn't do a lot on YouTube, but she shares a ton on her Instagram. She's on quite a few teams, and she is a scrapbooker that adds mixed media, but she adds a little bit more than Nicole does. So so there's definitely her to check out. I can't think of, there's so many other people, and I could go on and on and on about listing everybody, but those are, I feel like, are a pretty good direction to kind of see, like, how do you do scrapbooking with mixed media. Like I said, you can check out anybody on our design team. Both you and I have our own channels, not just on here on the Crafty Maven, so definitely check us out. And I know, like, my channel, I don't have as much current stuff, but I have a ton of old stuff from years and years. I have over 10 years worth of stuff, and most of it is mixed media because that's mostly what I do. And a lot of the teams that I was on, that's what I did. So, and you focus more on scrapbooking, but add a little bit of mixed media. So that's always good to know, you know. And there's certain people who don't do YouTube. There's certain people that, like I said, just do Instagram or just do Facebook sharing. And those are great places to hang out and get inspiration and see. And I find the more that I watch that stuff, like Instagram will show me more and more of that. YouTube shows me more and more of that stuff. Like, so that's, you know, if you like a channel that you see and it's really inspirational, like click on it and like it and subscribe, and then follow, and then you will continually see their work and stuff that you can utilize different elements of things. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to do everything. I know, like, right now we're sharing all of the things that you can use to get inspiration, and I think that's where we want to focus on, showing you guys how do we accomplish this. Like, I don't just want you guys to be like myself. I just don't want to be a consumer of it. I want to, like, outpour it. And I think that like, there's a start though. You have to be inspired, and then from there you have to learn the tools and see what you need. So that's kind of why I wanted to do this series, so that we can talk a little bit more about it, and we can figure out, like, how do we go from here? Where do we go from there? How do I take this little bit of information, but then create something with it? Because if you just have the information, it's not going to stay in there, and, you know, it doesn't do you any good. Then it's just one more thing that you have in your brain box, and then it makes you feel bad that you're not doing it. Like, I don't know about you, but I have that problem. Like, if I don't get in my creative space and actually do stuff, I get antsy. I get like, ugh. I'm like, but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of times it's my own fault for not getting it done.
Right. Well, and I feel like, I don't know, it just kind of depends. Life has changed so much. Like, and so it's just kind of like, sometimes it's just so heavy, so hard to just get in there. Yeah. But then at other times, it's easy, you know. There's an ebb and a flow, like, you know. Sometimes it's easy to get in our rooms, and sometimes it's not, and we've talked about that so much on the podcast. Like,
I know, I feel like we're beating it with a dead horse, but honestly, it is. I feel like that's where a lot of us are at, is just accepting the situation that we are in, the season that we're in, and lowering our expectations or hiring them depending on the seasons of where we're at. It's like, and not putting ourselves down because we don't know how to do a certain technique, or we don't do it well, or we can't get to scrapbooking enough. It's like, we got to stop putting ourselves down, because that doesn't help you grow at all. It doesn't. I mean, a little bit of pressure is nice. Like, and this is why having a great scrappy friend or being in a community like ours is that we give you things to kind of help encourage you and be there and be like, hey, well, you see Susie, she's doing this. Like, what about you? Are you doing something? Because sometimes that's what we need. But it's a fun, you know, creative nudge, not like oh, you should feel bad because you didn't get your room. I don't want anybody to feel like that, because then that shuts down the creative process, honestly. So
it's all about fun.
All about fun. It's all about filling your cup instead of taking it away. I was talking to somebody in line, and she was kind of making those comments. I'm like, I do this for fun. This fills my cup, so I don't have time for that.
The
right?
negativity,
Like, there's no reason to put all these high expectations and to tear ourselves down when the whole point is to build ourselves up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, we should close out for today. We will see you guys next week. And as always, if you have any ideas or things that you would like us to talk about within the mixed media realm, put it below, because it is super helpful for us to know what you guys want so that we can talk about the things that you guys want to talk about.
Yes, please.
I think that's the most frustrating part, right? Is that we want the feedback. We need the feedback because we can't be better for you if we don't know what we need to be better at. So anyway, hopefully, Megan, you will have a great rest of your afternoon. I am doing a ton of business stuff today, and hopefully a little bit of creating. So we'll see. If not tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. So.
Yeah, there is. Hey, well, have a great scrappy day.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Bye.